Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 288 lives were lost and close to 1,000 people were injured in the unfortunate triple train crash in Odisha's Balasore on Friday last. Most of the affected families have been condemned to suffer for life for no fault of their own. Their pain has moved the entire world, with condolences pouring in from far and wide. Praying for the departed souls to find some peace, a message that the world was mourning with them as the kin came to grips with the mind-numbing tragedy. But some of us have let the victims of this monumental tragedy down. They are busy in politics over people's pain and even over their dead bodies. The tendency to find mischief in misery is not only reducing the opposition's credibility but is also exposing an insensitive and irresponsible brand of politics that is possibly harming and hurting the brand India itself. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we say this with absolute responsibility and will tell you how in the next 40 minutes. Please consider that even before mangled bodies could be pulled out from the tragedy site, even while kin of the victims were running from one hospital to another with hope in their hearts, even before the cause of the crash had been figured out, the opposition parties had begun passing judgments. From claiming that rail safety was not India's priority to mocking the Kavach rail protection system, to questioning the country's ability to run high-speed trains such as the Vande Bharat. And now, when the central government has ordered a CBI probe into the possible sabotage angle behind the crash, and the day on which this CBI FIR is registered, the opposition has called it a ploy to bury the truth. Even some BJP leaders had joined this cacophony of conspiracy theories, not realizing that the world is watching and that every bid to discredit the Indian Railways is discrediting the brand Bharat itself and is also disrespectful to those who have lost their lives. With that in mind, viewers, we ask if opposition's insensitive and irresponsible. The Bengal Chief Minister believes that the centre is hiding the truth and that even the CBI probe will not be able to uncover the truth. The Congress, on the other hand, has questioned the CBI's expertise when it comes to probing technical cases. Listen in.
CBI do the criminal things, but it's the accident things. This is Railway Safety Commission is there. They have to do it fast. We want that people should know the truth. It is not a time to suppress the truth.
क्या अब सीबीआई ढूंढेगी कि मरम्मत और नए ट्रैक के बजट को 2018-19 से घटाकर 2020 तक 7,400 करोड़ का क्यों कर दिया गया? क्या सीबीआई ये ढूंढेगी कि जब रेलवे चिंतन शिविर हुआ तो हर जोन को सुरक्षा पर बोलना था, सबको चुप करके क्यों बैठा दिया गया और एक ही जोन को बोलने की इजाजत क्यों दी गई? और क्या सीबीआई ये ढूंढेगी कि उस चिंतन शिविर में सिर्फ वंदे भारत और कितना रेवेन्यू रेलवे से निकल सकता है पर चिंता क्यों हो रही थी? सुरक्षा की बात क्यों नहीं हो रही थी?
How come CBI guys are expert in rail matters? What is there in it? And by the time people will feel, will forget. So what's wrong it? What Mamta ji said, that are they expert? They are to examine the criminal angles, not that technical.
Akhilesh Yadav, Samajwadi Party chief, went even further to take a dig at Modi Sarkar's double engine Sarkar slogan. Listen.
ये सरकार तो कह रही हमारे पास कई इंजन हैं, कई इंजन। मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कह दिया ट्रिपल इंजन, और देखो जब से ट्रिपल इंजन बोला मुख्यमंत्री जी ने, ट्रिपल इंजन उड़ीसा में भिड़ गए कि नहीं भिड़ गए? इन्होंने कहा ट्रिपल इंजन की सरकार, हमें लगता है इन्हें पहले ही पता था ट्रिपल इंजन भिड़ जाएंगे वहां पर। कितने लोगों की जान चलेगी बताओ? अभी भी संख्या नहीं सही बता पा रहे हैं।
Bengal's leader of opposition from the BJP has called the crash a TMC conspiracy. Listen into him.
তৃণমূলের কনস্পিরেসিটা বের করানোর জন্য এই পুরো ইনসিডেন্টের পিছনে তৃণমূল আছে। তৃণমূলের কনস্পিরেসিটাকে আইডেন্টিফাই, ওরা কালকে রাতে থেকে প্যানিক কেন, তো সিবিআই নিয়ে অডিট কেন, তো প্লেস অফ অকারেন্স অন্য স্টেটে, এত প্যানিক কেন? এই কল রেকর্ড ট্যাপিং, কনভারসেশন বিটুইন টু রেসপন্সিবল রেলওয়ে অফিসার্স, এটা যে কত বড় আগামী দিনে স্ক্যাম এক্সপোজ হতে যাচ্ছে তৃণমূল বুঝতে পারবে।
So the legitimate question we are asking on the news are tonight, 288 dead but no end to Rajneeti. That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Shehzad Poonwalla, national spokesperson of the BJP, Tushar Gupta, senior editor, Swarajya magazine, Dr. Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Ameek Jamai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Sridhar Reddy, leader of the BRS, Tehseen Poonwalla, political analyst, supports the Congress party. Shehzad Poonwalla, to you goes my first question. Why is the BJP and the government so keen on a CBI investigation? Because Mamata Banerjee has said that there was a CBI investigation called even in 2012. Till date, no report has been received from the CBI on what were the causes of that accident. Is this once again another cover-up? That's what the opposition is calling the CBI investigation, as a diversionary tactic.
First of all, Navika, let me use your platform, which millions of people are watching, to extend my condolences to everybody who's lost somebody or has somebody injured, and we are all with them in this time of grief. Now, this is not a time for bickering to say that the accidents have reduced by 54% or that the accident rate per million kilometers has reduced by 70%, or to say that in how 2010 or 2011 the minister concerned did not go to Saintia, they chose to go for a political rally, and on contrast, Prime Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, Dharmendra Pradhan, Mansukh Mandavia, and all of government approach took place where 51 hours we restored the rail line. This is not the time to say all of that. Today is the time to say that let's not make Avsar out of Aapda, let's not do Rajneeti over something that should be Rashtraneti, and let's come to a conclusion. And there is a technical aspect which the railway is doing. Now look at the Vidambana or the double standard here. On the one hand, some people are demanding Ashwini Vaishnav's resignation, although Mr. H.D. Devegowda, senior leader, is not demanding that. If they're demanding Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav's resignation, then why do they want a railway probe? They should be happy for a CBI probe. And if they say that no for CBI, if they say that CBI probe is okay, and then they should not ask for the resignation of Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav. So they can't have it both ways. Now, as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned, she said about Gyaneshwari Express, CBI has submitted charge sheet in this matter. CBI submitted charge sheet. Now, if the court doesn't do something beyond it, what can we do? CBI has submitted. And if CBI should not have a mandate, then in that time the government was, Mamata Banerjee was the rail minister. She ordered for a CBI probe. If it is a probe where there is no criminal aspect and there's nothing to investigate, why did she order a CBI probe in the first place? She should answer that question. But let's come to a more important and fundamental question. Today I want to ask only one question of everybody on this panel. Either you say that the railway probe is absolutely correct, then don't demand Ashwini Vaishnav's resignation, because neither Mr. Khadge resigned, neither did all the other railway ministers of the Congress party resign except for Lal Bahadur Shastri, and they'll come up with Madhavrao Sindhya, who was the civil aviation minister. So then don't demand the resignation. And if you're demanding the resignation of Ashwini Vaishnav, then say yes, CBI probe is very good, because CBI doesn't come under railway or Ashwini Vaishnav. You can't have it both ways.
What? Mr. Riju Datta. Mr. Riju Datta, do you have any specific objections to a CBI investigation? Because in the 2010 crash, Mamata Banerjee is on record saying that CPM is responsible for this. This is a political conspiracy. Now, if the government feels that there should be ruling out, if not finding the culprits of any criminal activity or criminal hand in this, what is your objection?
Thank you, Navika ji. And first of all, again, Trinamool Congress like the BJP, wants to offer our condolences to the family of the bereaved. But it is not the time to talk about, why there was a red flag in February 2023 that almost avoided collision, but the railway ministry did not take heed of it. It is not the place to talk why there is 3.12 lakh vacancy in the railways, out of which 50% is in the safety category. They are overburdened and understaffed. I know this is not the place to talk about it, but yes, we should not also do politics over it, but a gentle reminder that none other than the Prime Minister of India, when the Posta flyover collapsed, he came to Bengal and he said, where 27 people died, that it's a message of God to the Trinamool government and Mamata Banerjee. What is God telling him now when 288 people lost their lives? So let's not do politics over it. Let's come to the nitty-gritty and the technicalities for millions of viewers watching this.
No. First, I'll technical details later, but first respond to his charge, Mr. Shehzad Poonwalla.
We must avoid fact-free debate. Now, he recounted the experience of the Southwest Railway letter, and he said that no action was taken. Let me tell you what action was taken. Western Railways in a statement said that the concerned staff had not observed proper procedure while attending to repair, maintain the signalling gear. In the said incident, it was found that the concerned staff had not observed proper procedure while attending to repair, maintain the signalling gear. Immediately, prompt action was taken. A committee of officers were conducting an inquiry and took strict punishment on the errant officers and spur the discipline and appeal rules. Further, a month-long counselling drive was done to 227 number of frontline staff involved in this signalling gears maintenance issue, which I know Tehseen will be quoting in his next statement. So I have told you what action was taken. Point number 2, we should not have fact-free reporting. ET, I believe, is a credible newspaper, madam. ET, Economic Times report has said how in the last 4 decades the railways have been the most safest. This is the report of the Economic Times. Railways registers its best safety figures in almost 4 decades. Economic Times. Let's forget that also. It's not the time to talk about that. What I understood from Mr. Riju Datta's statement was that this is badla for some statement made in some other context. So today we are taking out the badla on this. That's why we are making the concerned statements. I'll tell you one thing that Riju Datta will never be able to answer. Forget everything else. Even if we give a conviction in a court of law, if Mamata Banerjee says this.
आप लोगों को तो मैं कहना चाहूंगी कि गोध्रा इंसिडेंट कौन किया था, कैसे आग जलाया था, वो तो रनिंग ट्रेन में आग जला दिया था.
गोधरा जिसमें आतंकवादी कन्विक्ट हुआ है, ऑन दैट इफ ममता बनर्जी कम्स एंड सेज गोधरा में कैसे इंसिडेंट हुआ, रनिंग ट्रेन में आग लगाया, दैट मीन्स शी इज ब्लेमिंग द 58 sadhus for killing them own selves. This is the level of chief minister we have. I am sorry to say, no matter what inquiry we do, whose resignation we take, it will never be convinced because she is finding Aapda mein Avsar. Please Riju Datta, hand on heart, tell me who is responsible for Godhra. आज मैं आपको ममता दीदी का 3 दिन पुराना स्टेटमेंट है.
Riju Datta, would you at least say unfortunate politics, because at the end of the day हमारे घर में मौतें हुई हैं, 288 people have died in our home. Can we at least stay away from politics 11 दिन 13 दिन whatever?
And गोधरा का क्या लेना?
मैडम, मैं 100% मैडम, मैं आपसे सहमत हूँ. पहले मोदी जी को ये सिखा दीजिए. हम सहमत है सब. जो वो करेंगे हम वही करेंगे. वो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री है. उनका भी फील्ड चला दे क्या, पोस्टा फ्लाईओवर वाला?
चलाइए. आपकी
Now let me come to the topic, madam, which we are deflecting from the CBI.
No, tell me why invoke Godhra?
Let him complete.
No, Navika, why invoke Godhra? Do you know the assault that they are doing on the psyche by invoking Godhra here? Navika, what is the Godhra connection here?
What is the Godhra connection? Respond to that.
Navika ji, one second. Navika ji, one second. I am here to answer to the people of this country as a responsible opposition, not to Shehzad Poonwalla. Point number 1. Point number 2, there's a quote by Samuel Jackson that patriotism is the last resort of a scoundrel. Why do we always bring in this patriotism card when 280
Godhra statement is made by Mamta.
Somebody needs to be accountable.
Whatever you said.
One second, don't go to Godhra. Now, can you come back to this?
I have not gone, bhai.
Navika ji, is the topic Godhra or is the topic
अरे भाई, बंगाल की यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री ममता दीदी ने गोधरा कांड के बारे में
Okay, he has asked you a question on why Godhra was invoked. Just respond that and then carry on. Respond.
I have to say, because as far as the Supreme Court, which has given a clean sheet to the government of Gujarat at that time and all the senior authorities, Bilkis Bano rapists are also released. Some of the key accused are also released. So in a way, nothing happened. Nobody was convicted in Godhra. Godhra तो ऐसे ही हो गया. ये तो देश में
terrorists did Godhra. You are standing for the terrorists of Godhra, and you are saying that the sadhus have killed themselves. Today you have reduced this into a Hindu-Muslim issue. You are saying sadhus killed themselves, and Godhra was not done by terrorists.
Well, let's just come back and Riju Datta, you know, Riju Datta, if Godhra has to be invoked, then who's doing the politics first is a matter that is very evident to the entire country. So when you say that you are learning this from the Prime Minister, I want to ask you, I just want to ask you, like any citizen of India, बहुत सी अच्छी बातें भी वो करते हैं, वो तो नहीं सीखी हैं आपने, ये क्यों सीख रहे हैं?
हमने अच्छी बातें भी सीखी है, पर हमने ये भी सीखा है कि it is high time that we give BJP back in its own coin. नहीं तो इनको समझ में नहीं आता.
गोधरा में आतंक को
can I come back to the debate?
Paying us in our own coin.
Now, Navika ji, can I come back to the debate?
Okay. No, let's. All right. Point made. He's not falling for that. People will make absolutely should not have happened. I believe that, but he is not. You know, she has to. She is the party. 1 minute.
Not submit charge sheet. It has submitted charge sheet.
Well, let's go to the railway tragedy in Balasore and Riju Datta. Yes.
Why you opposing CBI probe? Riju, may I ask you personal question? Why you so against CBI? ऐसा कौन पकड़ा जाएगा? नहीं, CBI में ऐसा कौन पकड़ा जाएगा, Riju? Riju, who will get that you're so?
Okay, allow him to complete his point and then Shehzad, you can respond. Yes.
288 people have died, but they want to deflect it and they want to garland the railway minister and Pradhan Mantri. They can do it. We won't do it. Now let me ask factual questions and then BJP can answer. On 4th of June at 10 a.m., Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said, and I quote, Commissioner of Railway Safety has investigated the matter and they have identified the cause of the incident. It happened due to change in electronic interlocking. 7 hours later, the same Railway Minister at 7 p.m. said, Railway Board has recommended a CBI probe. Now, here are the questions. CBI probe means there is a criminal angle to it. The Odisha Railway Police has filed an FIR. The FIR are filed on IPC 337, 338, 304A and 34, 153, 154 and 175 of Railways Act, which only and only suggests negligence, no criminal act. So this is an FIR filed by Railway Police. Number 2, the CRS does not fall under the Railway Ministry. They are an independent board with technical expertise which will always investigate the matter. What is the hurry for the CBI? What do you want to hide? What do you want to bury? Because from Ganeshwari till now, we know what are the conviction rates, what is happening. My question is very simple. If you have nothing to hide, let the report of the CRS come. CRS does not fall under.
All right. So all right. Fair question. But why are you also worried about the CBI is a question that continues to stare you in the face, but respond.
Navika, you cover administration and government for so many years. Has the government said that the inquiry of the Railway Board has stopped and this is in replacement of that? If both are taking place simultaneously, one will do the technical aspect, one will do the criminal aspect, if any. Both can run simultaneously.
Where is the criminal aspect? The FIR is not.
Oh, 1 second. Then that means, 1 second, Riju Datta, thank you for that. So it's not a man-made disaster. It's a genuine accident, right? Then why were you blaming all kinds of elements in the government? Why are you blaming all kinds of elements? You can't have both ways, Riju. First of all, even when somebody has been convicted, i.e. Godhra terrorists, you go and give them clean sheet. Here we are saying technical and criminal investigation. You say criminal mat karo, keval technical karo. Before that you give clean sheet. That means criminally is somebody you know involved. Is criminally somebody you know involved. Riju, this is a time for confession. Is somebody you know involved in the criminal aspect? Riju, I asked you as a friend. Confess it. Confess it. अग्नि आप confess कर लो. तो फिर होने दो CBI का probe.
Well, let me get in Mr. Tehseen Poonwalla. Tehseen Poonwalla.
Have you ever seen somebody so perturbed by a probe? Except for a criminal? Only criminal will be perturbed by a probe. Except for a criminal, nobody is perturbed by a probe. अब reaction से पता कि
you know, Riju Datta ji, honestly, you know, the way you are getting rattled, it seems like you have a problem with the probe. Now let me take the question of what you have raised. What you have raised about the CBI FIR. I want to take that question to Tehseen Poonawalla because he is a lawyer on the panel. Let me ask Tehseen Poonawalla, whatever sections an FIR is filed under, do you think that scope cannot be increased to include other sections at a later stage? Or is it a giveaway, telltale that only negligent sections have been quoted? You are a lawyer. Just answer that charge of Riju Datta first before you get on with whatever you have to say about the CBI probe.
You are right that sections can be added later on, but I agree that at this moment CBI probe was not needed. If I allowed to expose the BJP, I will expose it, including the facts the BJP spokesperson has quoted. But you're right on the technical part that charges can later on be added. The question, Navika ji, is the BJP spokesperson very rightly spoke about the 8th February letter that I would have exposed them on, and he spoke about the action that was told or the counseling that was done. What the BJP spokesperson is not speaking about is the letter in 2018 from the Northern Railways, S.K. Pathak, who's the Commissioner of Railway Safety, to the Chairperson Railways, Northern Railways, when the train from Uttar Pradesh, and this is Arvind Chauhan's report, Times of India. I'm sure the BJP spokesperson trusts Arvind Chauhan, a colleague of yours, and Times of India, on how the Balasore tragedy is exactly like what happened in Uttar Pradesh 2018, and that was averted. At that point, now what the railway said is the interlocking system now would be absolutely electronic, something that the BJP spokesperson spoke about after that. Then happened the February incident. Now the question is, if this is a CBI probe and these electronic systems were override, because that's what the CBI will look into by and large, because what Riju Datta said was absolutely correct about what the railway minister said, that this was a signalling issue, which has happened previously February, or the same Western Railways has raised it, which in Chintan Chivir Railway did not issue. Now if this was a sabotage, are you telling me Indian Railways can be hacked like a mobile phone can be hacked? No, these are very complex systems that cannot be overridden, and even if it's overridden, Central Railways shuts off this system. It overrides it, thus preventing an accident. What happened here is a tragedy because the systems, the interlocking systems, as quoted in the 8th February letter, are continuously failing. The demand for the Honorable Railway Minister's resignation is simply this, that this negligence issues, despite being raised, got away with only counselling and not solving the technical.
All right. Shehzad Poonawalla, 50-60,000 trains go up and down. One interlocking system failed and they say it happens all the time.
Tehseen, very quickly answer. Tehseen, if you can, and if I'll ask you one question, but answer it in a yes or no. Are you ruling out any kind of human interference in this case? Yes or no?
It should not have.
Okay, now just say yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no. Tehseen, yes or no. It's my time to speak. Yes or no. Are you ruling out human interference? Yes or no?
It will be the interference of the government.
That's it. Now, one second, Tehseen, please do not go on. This is my time. I'm giving you some of my time to answer a question in yes or no. Are you ruling out human interference? Yes or no?
The answer cannot be yes or no, because
there you go. Now, Navika, I'll answer this question because see, I gave him an opportunity to speak in my time, but clearly he has it. Tehseen himself can't rule out human interference. If the CBI is going to establish with a little bit more competence than Tehseen Poonawalla and his ilk about what this human interference is, I think Tehseen should allow it unless he's as perturbed as Riju Datta is. Point number one. Point number two, Tehseen, if 2018 the incident that you said happened in such a big way, that means that Congress party is the most useless party. Can you show me one tweet from 2018 to 2023 where they've tweeted about it? One tweet, any leader. Choose one.
Can I be allowed to
choose one leader and any tweet?
Okay.
If this is such a massive problem that they were saying was happening. One tweet. One tweet.
Okay. Thank you, Navika ji. We are also your guest. Can we have the courtesy? That cannot be answered in yes or no, because the railways itself has gone on record saying that in case of human interference, if you would have heard me, the system overrides it, thus preventing a catastrophe. In 2018, the catastrophe did not happen because the accident was prevented, but this interlocking system came into force in Northern Railways and repeatedly by Southwestern Railways, which was to be taken up in Chintan Chivir, which you all did not take it up. And that is the criminal negligence by you.
Just by the way, Tehseen Poonawalla, are you an engineer?
He is for tonight. Tonight he is, like Yogendra.
Are you a railway expert?
I'm a human being who has empathy about 280 odd of us.
If empathy is the benchmark, what about Godhra? What about Godhra?
who died in Godhra, innocent people, and who's politicizing Godhra? Mamta Banerjee. Tehseen, with that empathy at your disposal, why don't you make a statement on Mamta Banerjee? Make a statement on Mamta Banerjee.
That statement is wrong and should have been avoided.
So then please make a 5-minute speech on that. How come there's no 5-minute long speech on that?
Nobody has to make a 5 speech on anything.
No, where is Rahul Gandhi on this statement?
1 minute.
Where is Rahul Gandhi?
You know, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has sat in the US and asked for Ashwini Vaishnav's
Where is Supriya
resignation.
Shrinate speaking?
Let me just get in Tushar. Tushar, I want to ask you this question. Why is everybody an expert, an engineer, a computer software, complete genius? Why is everybody behaving like this? And I just want to understand, because I'm so confused. Some people say that a technical analysis by the railway should be done. There should be no investigation by the CBI. When the technical investigation is done by the railways, they will come out and say that railways investigated themselves and then gave themselves a clean chit. So we have no faith in this investigation. And they will demand the railway minister's resignation. Can they have it both ways? Can they have it both ways when the minister himself is saying an agency outside the railway should investigate? Can they have it both ways?
Good evening, Navika. You know, I'm confused if I'm appalled more by the shamelessness of the opposition or the pretentiousness. We have people on this panel who, at best, can cite 2 reports they have taken up from Google and then pretend that they understand how the investigations should go on. Riju Datta of the TMC has not been on ground zero, and I'm assuming Tehseen hasn't been either. But they both will quote reports which they have found from Google from 2018 or 2022, and they'll decide how the investigation should be carried out. Any responsible opposition party, Navika, in India today would have just demanded one thing of the government, that we are shocked, we are saddened by the accident, and we want an investigation. We don't care if you involve the local police. We don't care if you involve the CBI. We don't care if you get the NIA. We don't care if you get an independent international agency with expertise in railway accidents. We don't care. We just want to ensure that an accident of this magnitude, the worst in the last 20 years, does not happen again in any state, irrespective of which party it is ruled by. And yet, what do we have? We have Riju Datta, who seems rattled by the idea of a CBI investigation. We have Tehseen, who says it's not necessary right now. I'm sorry, sir, that's not how it works. Let the people on the job decide how it works or how it doesn't. What you should be demanding from the government is a transparent probe, a verifiable probe, a report in the public, and a guarantee that something of this magnitude does not happen again. Riju Datta's leader, Mamta Banerjee, was arguing with Ashwini Vaishnav on ground zero about the number of deaths. It was a saddening, it was a shameful sight to see for the viewers on television. I asked Riju Datta, there were people from Bengal who lost their loved ones. If there is indeed a case where the government is misreporting the numbers, please come out, please link us to the families, please tell the media groups about the families who have not been counted.
Done. It cannot be a monologue. Now answer my question. You talked about people on the job. No, you talked about people on the job. You should leave it to the people on the job.
Riju Datta, may I just come in and tell you that Tushar Gupta is a civilian. He's an editor with Swarajya, and he doesn't have to answer any questions. He's raising questions. As a political party, you should answer them.
He should not take my name. He should go and sit outside the gateway of the...
But he's asking you, did it behove a chief minister? Did it behove a chief minister to contest the number of people who had died there in public view?
Navika ji, very simple. Tushar Gupta has used the term people on the job. The people on the job are incompetent. 288 people have lost their lives. My simple question is, who is accountable? Can anybody on this panel, including this guy Tushar Gupta or anybody, said who should be responsible for this massive
let me respond to that. Navika, let me respond to that, please.
One second, let me finish.
Okay, he's asking his question and I'll give you time to respond. Riju Datta,
yes.
What's the question?
My first question is, who is accountable? Has anybody come up with that? Who is accountable for the life?
That's what the investigation is for, my friend. That is what the investigation is for.
Madam. who is accountable out of 288 bodies? Will you agree with me that still now 83 bodies are lying in the morgue which have no identification? 40 bodies, as per the DM report, has no signs of injury, has died out of electrocution. It is a massive failure. It is murder by negligence. किसी को तो आप जिम्मेदार ठहराओगे।
अच्छा,
आप बोल रहे हो अश्विनी वैष्णव 60 घंटा खड़ा है, उसको माला पहनाओ।
सो आप कह रहे हो कि किसी को रिजाइन करवाओ, किसी को रिस्पॉन्सिबल ठहराओ, ये जो बाकी चीजें हैं वो सब छोड़ दो, बस किसी को टांग दो। क्यों हुआ, कैसे इंश्योर करना है कि इट शुड नेवर बी रिपीटेड? दैट इज अ लेटर एक्टिविटी. अकाउंटेबिलिटी कम्स बिफोर एवरीथिंग. Shehzad.
May I answer? If I were to logically then conclude from Riju's statement, 1451 deaths during Mamta's tenure and 1159 deaths under Lalu's tenure, were they unaccounted for?
There were, and when Mamta Banerjee was the railway minister, it was, you are accusing directly and exposing the BJP government and the Bharat Ratna
Atalji is responsible. Now railway is responsible, but then Atalji was responsible.
That time,
and Laluji mein was Manmohan Singh responsible? Atalji.
Well, hold on for a moment. Amik Jamai.
Did you see the hollowness of this argument?
You know, I really don't know. Questions cannot be asked of Mamta Banerjee, but questions must be asked and responsibility must be fixed in the same moment when the accident happened. Well, that can be your view. Riju Datta, you are most welcome to hold that view. I don't know how many viewers will, endorse that, but you are free to have your view. But अमीक जमाई, मेरा सवाल आपसे है, आज अखिलेश यादव जी का जो कमेंट आया, अब आप 3 इंजन की सरकार पर व्यंग, बिल्कुल सार्केज्म करके आप अपनी राजनीति कर रहे हैं. योर पॉलिटिक्स, यू से 3 इंजन की सरकार मुख्यमंत्री कह रहे हैं, ऑब्वियसली टेकिंग अ डिग एट बोथ नरेंद्र मोदी जी द प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड द यूपी चीफ मिनिस्टर मिस्टर योगी आदित्यनाथ, एंड यू आर सेइंग देखो 3 इंजन के बीच में किस तरह से भिड़ गए, ओडिशा में सबने देखा है. आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग यू, हैव वी कंप्लीटली लॉस्ट आवर सेंसिटिविटी टुडे? 288 people have died and we are talking about politics and using it as a jumla.
हाँ नाविका मैम, बिल्कुल सेंस खो गया है. आप देखिए ना, इतनी लाशें वहां पड़ी हैं, तकरीबन 300 के आसपास परिवार, उनकी जिंदगियां, नौजवान, बूढ़े, बच्चे, उनकी जिंदगियां बर्बाद हो गई. किसी के सपने थे भारत को बनाने के, किसी के डॉक्टर बनने के, किसी के किसानी खेती करने के, सब खत्म हो गए. और वो जो मिनिस्टर अश्विनी है, 5 कैमरे स्पेशल अपने ऊपर लगवा के, क्रेन लगवा के, वहां पे वंदे मातरम और भारत माता की जय के लाशों के पास नारे लगा रहे हैं. वो, उनको शर्म नहीं आ रही है? भारत की पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी, स्टैंडिंग कमेटी की रिपोर्ट क्या कहती है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रेलवे के बारे में? कहती है कि रेलवे सुरक्षा आयोग की जो सिफारिशें हैं, रेलवे बोर्ड ने उसकी अवहेलना की. जो रिकमेंडेशन सिक्योरिटी को लेकर किया गया, आप बात कर रहे हैं कि इनको इस्तीफा क्यों ना दिया जाए? अरे 99 में तो इन्हीं की सरकार थी, नीतीश जी रेलवे मिनिस्टर थे. 99 में, मैम अगर आप मुझे करेक्ट करिएगा, कि वेस्ट बंगाल में गैसल में 290 के आसपास लोग मारे गए ट्रेन के हादसे में. नीतीश जी ने उसी वक्त, कुर्सी था, जनाजा नहीं था, बोले कि सबसे पहले तो मैं जिम्मेदार हूं बतौर मिनिस्टर. उसके बाद ये जो घटना है, ये क्रिमिनल नेग्लिजेंस है,
क्रिमिनल नेग्लिजेंस है, तो उसके लिए सीबीआई की इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रही है. आप मुझे इतना बता दीजिए कि अखिलेश यादव जी को इसमें भी नहीं, 3 इंजन के भिड़ना एक राजनीतिक जुमला मिला?
नहीं, ये जो जुमला है, ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब का जुमला है. डबल इंजन की सरकार, जिनकी आप लोग तारीफों में पुल बांधते हो. प्राइम मिनिस्टर को पहुंचने में जहां पे हादसा हुआ है, 3 जोड़े कपड़े बदलने पड़े. आपको याद है नविका मैम, बटला हाउस कांड के वक्त जब शिवराज पाटिल कपड़े पे कपड़े बदल रहे थे, तो पूरे देश की मीडिया ने उनके ऊपर सवाल उठाया था. और देश की प्रधानमंत्री कपड़े बदल रहे हैं, जब लोगों के चप्पल नहीं मिल रहे, वहां पर लोगों की लाशें नहीं मिल रही हैं. भेड़ बकरियों की तरह से हम ट्रक में अपनी
I don't know what you are saying, Amit Jamai Saab. लेकिन Shehzad Reddy, he hasn't spoken. Let me. I'm coming back. You'll have to respond.
केवल एक वाक्य में जवाब, एक ही वाक्य में समाप्त हो जाता है सब कुछ. मैं सिर्फ इतना पूछना चाहता हूं कि अकाउंटेबिलिटी के लिए अगर अश्विनी जी को रिजाइन करना चाहिए तो भगलपुर खगड़िया का ब्रिज गिरा उसके लिए नीतीश जी भी करेंगे ना, और नीतीश जी का तो पुराना इतिहास है. बोलिए एक बार अमीक जी, नीतीश जी रिजाइन करें, वहां पे भी तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी करनी है.
शहजाद जी, मोरबी गुजरात,
अरे उनका तो पुराना इतिहास है, हमारे साथ रहते थे तो इस्तीफा दे भी देते थे. आजकल आप लोगों की संगत लगे तो पता नहीं. अब एक अमीक जी देखिए, चिल्लाइए मत, सेंसिटिविटी के पहले सेंसिबिलिटी मत खोइए. एक ही सवाल है, क्या नीतीश और तेजस्वी भागलपुर को रिजाइन कर दें?
That question has never been asked by anybody. But Shehzad Reddy, Mr. Shehzad Reddy, I'm asking you today, not as a politician, but as a human being, as a citizen of India, when 288 people have died in a train accident, there is a technical investigation, there is a criminal investigation, because the word criminal negligence keeps coming up. If there is a criminal investigation along with a technical investigation, do you have a problem with it? Number one. And number two, do you think politicians and leaders of various political parties should be a little more circumspect when they make their statements, at least at the time of such a colossal tragedy?
So I'll come back to the discussion on the investigations first, but let me be very clear, we don't want to do any politics on this kind of a issue where 288 people have lost lives and the family members have lost their loved ones. But only one thing the entire country is asking, who will have to take the responsibility of this? And who will be accountable to this? At the same time, this is a result of more publicity and less work. And this government has been speaking many things on upgradation of infrastructure in railways, Kavach that will prevent all these kind of accidents and all that. And country asks, why in such an important route Kavach was not implemented? At the same time, initially
Kavach could not
they have
prevented the accident.
Wait a minute. Mr. Tushar Gupta, I know you are a superman. Wait a minute, please. I have not spoken. Listen.
Unfortunate accident could not
educate me.
By Kavach.
Educate me.
I'm educating you. I have to educate you.
Can you please hold your...
prevented this
Can you
Tushar Gupta, allow him to make his point and then you can respond. Yes, Shehzad ji.
The third thing is, initially, the railway minister himself has come out with many reasons. Then they said some technical problem. Then overlocking whatever they was talking about. And then now said CBI, intervention. So there are many doubts. Why there is so much of confusion in this, number one. Number two, Tushar Gupta was saying, shameless opposition. My dear sir, the opposition is here to question the government on behalf of the people. If you are in hurry to protect the central government, try to protect the image of Ashwini Vaishnav and Narendra Modi, be in it. But we are not shameless. We are worried about the shameless people who always come in hurry.
You do not have
come in hurry, protect it.
Sir, you are the one.
All right, Tushar. Respond to Mr. Reddy. Respond to Mr. Reddy.
I'll respond to all the parties one by one. Mr. Reddy from the BRS doesn't have his facts here. He said that the Kavach could have prevented this unfortunate accident. He's not acquainted with the basic reports. He says that no work has been done on track renewal and it's all been about marketing. Can he tell me the budget allotted under the UPA era for track renewals and compare it with the budget allotted for track renewal under the NDA? He cannot. Riju Datta over here says that, the government is being given a free hand and Ashwani Vaishnav ko mala pehna de. 2012 में आपके मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर रेलवेज मना कर रहे थे दुर्घटना की साइट पर जाने से. मैं नहीं कह रहा माला पहनाइए, पर आपके मिनिस्टर तो एक्सीडेंट दुर्घटना जहां होती थी वहां प्राइम मिनिस्टर को मना कर देते थे जाने से. उसकी पूरी रिपोर्ट है ऑनलाइन पर, लोग देख रहे हैं. और आप आज अश्वनी वैष्णव जी के बारे में ऐसा कह रहे. बाय नो मीन्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी शुड नॉट बी आस्क्ड, नाविका. एवरीवन शुड बी हेल्ड अकाउंटेबल whoever was involved from top to bottom. But that is why you need an investigation. People they want to dictate what the conclusion of the investigation will be from their living rooms without even allowing an investigation to happen. from their living rooms and from their studios, they will dictate कि कौन सी एजेंसी को डिप्लॉय करना चाहिए, कौन सी एजेंसी को डिप्लॉय नहीं करना.
Absolutely, absolutely. The truth is the need of the hour. Why this kind of an accident happened? Why did 288 people have to lose their lives? The truth is important, not incidental. It is the truth that is important. Yet, why is everybody having problems with the investigation? The investigation is the only way we can get to the truth. Or can politics get to the truth? Accountability is being asked for. Absolutely right. There should be a fixation of accountability and responsibility for a tragedy of this magnitude. But how will you fix accountability if you don't know the facts and why this happened? My problem is, in the interim, everything is a free-for-all for politics. That clearly doesn't need facts, doesn't need investigation, doesn't need time. It just comes absolutely instantly. That is the problem. And when we say a CBI investigation, by all means, any investigation, but the track record of the CBI will also leave a certain question in the minds of the people. Will we have a time-bound investigation? Will we fix this accountability in a time-bound manner? Because that is the only thing that people of this country want. What politicians want does not matter. What people want, and the truth is what people want, and we want it fast and soon. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on the Newshour debate number 1 tonight.